What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. Hey, just sitting at my computer and want to kind of summarize my journey into cutting the cable. So, for first of all, I did finally cut the cord. I am now cable free. Not only am I cable free, but I took my cable boxes back to UPS, shipped them back to AT&T Uverse, so I no longer have a cable bill. Pretty awesome. It's pretty exciting not to have $100 cable charge, but then the boxes were like 10 bucks a month. So, I was at about $140 just for some pretty mediocre cable. Now, on that journey, I tested out Sling Television, DirecTV Now, and YouTube TV, all of which are apps. Basically, you have to get them on streaming devices. And I wanted to not only tell you what was the winner ultimately, but why I chose it. So I kind of went and created a list here that I thought were all of the major categories that played an important factor in my decision. And I thought I'd just kind of blow through them here quickly, tell you what won. And I'll be honest, I'm surprised I picked what I picked. It was definitely not what I thought was going to happen. And so I will tell you kind of what was the deciding factor. Now, first of all, the three options, at least that I found, I know there's a PlayStation View, but I don't own a PlayStation, so I don't have that. But it was Sling Television, DirecTV Now, and YouTube TV. And the first thing I want to talk about is the channel guide. And so if I look and ranked kind of, between green, yellow, and red, the channel guides on each of these, I thought the Sling Television and the DirecTV Now channel guides were pretty much exactly what you'd expect coming off of cable. They're very intuitive. You can kind of slide forward into the future. YouTube TV also has it, but it only shows like the next hour. So I don't know what's up with that. But it was just a huge, huge miss on YouTube TV. So Sling and DirecTV, I considered both those channel guides just fine, pretty equivalent. I will say, on autoplay. So if you're kind of scrolling through the channel guide and selecting a show that you want to watch, the only one that truly autoplays it is DirecTV Now, which is a little funny. In fact, when you open the app, it autoplays on the last thing that you were on, which is great. It kind of feels just like cable. Now, Sling Television isn't that bad. You can kind of scroll around, select it, and then hit the play button, but it doesn't autoplay, and so hitting the button that says watch is always a little bit of an extra step. YouTube TV does kind of autoplay in the channel guide, and when you tap on it, it autoplays, but like I said, the channel guide really isn't the way to navigate, so it's kind of not really fair to say that it will autoplay on, a limited amount of stuff. DVRs. This one is going to be pretty cut and dry. In fact, YouTube TV probably has the best DVR service because it's unlimited, and so when you hit record, you don't get any options with it, but that's okay because it just records every episode of that show. Makes it a little hard to surf around and figure out what you want to watch, but I guess having more is better than not having enough. But Sling Television's DVR works just about how you'd expect. I certainly love to have maybe different tiers of how many hours you could record, especially if you have multiple people in your household. DirecTV Now doesn't have DVR at all. I know it's in beta. They certainly aren't offering it to me. People that have it and are using it in beta have said that it's a little bit buggy, but it's called a beta. So Sling and YouTube both have DVR. DirecTV is totally behind on that. Channel selection. All right, I've given Sling and DirecTV Now both good scores on channel selection, and really the reason that they got the best scores is because they just have different packages, so you can kind of select whatever you really want or need. Now, I will say it's a little funny, like DirecTV Now, I just clicked on the CW network and it said blacked out in your area, so I'm not sure what that's about, how it would be blacked out, but it wasn't a sports show or anything, so that's a little annoying. But in terms of selection, you really get to optimize with Sling and DirecTV Now. YouTube TV just has one tier, as far as I know. It's $40. You can't add more or add less, except for some like premium channels, but there are just no different packages. So YouTube TV Now is a pretty good package, but it just doesn't allow you this much flexibility. Local stations. I gave Sling and DirecTV Now both good marks. They both have some local stations. No service really here should have gotten a full perfect score because they're all a little bit lacking. And YouTube TV also has some local stations. Now, I will say this kind of service is a little weird in that when you're traveling, it's usually using the location services of your device. So like if you're watching on your iPhone in a different city, and it's going to show you, from my experience, the local channels where you are. So you can't stream, if you're a Chicago fan here in Chicago, watch the Bears while you're, visiting San Diego. Okay, so The local stations still could probably use a little work across the board, but Sling and DirecTV Now, I think, is the best. The mobile app, this is the app that you would download on your iPhone, Android device, iPad, etc. DirecTV Now is just hands down the winner, and that one wasn't even really close. It's a good app overall, and the fact that you could minimize it into a picture-in-picture and kind of float it over Windows while you're continuing to work on your devices was kind of a no-brainer. The Sling television app is very good, but when you hit to the home button or you try to minimize it, it just totally disappears. And then the YouTube TV app just kind of even trailed further behind on that too, which is a little funny because YouTube has been only making apps for a lot longer. Online viewing experience. So on all these services, you can log in with your account through a web browser and watch TV. I said that the YouTube TV one here won because it allows you variable playback speed. That was pretty awesome. So you can definitely kind of speed things up to 1.5 or 2x and watch them. Really cool feature that is on none of the other ones, and because of the unlimited DVRing, YouTube TV has a lot of stuff that you can watch and crush out. Now, the Sling television online viewing app was pretty good, and that's why I got a yellow. It was fine. The DirecTV Now one I gave the third place because for whatever reason, it doesn't seem to have the smarts to link up the channel selection in the browser to what you actually get. And in a couple of situations, the channels that I subscribe to and are in the apps and on the streaming devices aren't even listed on the web interface. So I don't know what that was about, but it kind of just gives you like the package channels, maybe none of the locals, the RSNs or the local channels. So I don't know why that was, but it just, none of the logic of your account, of your specific account, gets displayed in the web portal, as far as I could tell. Streaming device app. So this is the app that you would download on your Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV. Sling and DirecTV Now, both very good. There are basically in most of the app stores out there. Sling is kind of a platform agnostic. It's kind of stayed out of the fray, so it's available on the Roku, it's available on Apple TV and the Amazon Fire Stick. DirecTV Now is on the Fire Stick, Roku, and Apple TV as well. But the distant second here is the YouTube TV app, which is not getting along with Amazon, so it's not on the Fire Stick. If you get a Google Chromecast, it'll be on there. But so the fact that it's just not on everything kind of was a problem. It's a big problem. Incentives. The incentives are what really drove me here, and here's where I will say that the DirecTV Now incentive for kind of signing up and prepaying 1 month or 3 months was pretty good. So if you prepay 1 month, I think you get an Amazon Fire Stick. Please be aware that all these incentives may be irrelevant by the time you're watching this. Prepay 3 months and you get an Apple TV. So in both cases, you're really getting the DirecTV Now service for free. You're actually kind of just paying for the device. So it's a kind of a great option if you were thinking about it, wanted to kick it around, and you needed a device. Especially with an Apple TV being anywhere from 150 to 180 bucks, to prepay 150 bucks or $100 on the low end for DirecTV Now and get that. It's pretty awesome for 3 months. And then even on the 1 month, you could prepay 30 bucks and get a Fire Stick, and that was a pretty good deal. Sling Television also had a pretty good incentive. I did use that as well for the trial. I had to prepay 2 months, and I got a Roku. So I prepaid I stepped up to the middle package, or the just right package, I think it was called on Sling. So I ended up prepaying like $55, and I got a Roku, which was worth about $29. So here it wasn't quite as rich. You're paying for not only the device and a little bit of the service, so you're not kind of getting the device free or even discounted. But I thought that was very fair, and YouTube had no incentive at all. In fact, at the time, they didn't even have a free trial that I could try, which was kind of annoying. So, YouTube way in the back on that one. And then overall value, and this kind of takes in to account what you're getting and the price you're paying for it. And here, Sling TV was the winner to me. So the price points are quite a bit lower than DirecTV. I don't know if it's 30 or 40% cheaper for roughly the equivalent package. But that's a pretty good savings, even if we're 15 or 20%, my numbers are off. That it's just a much more affordable package. Like I said, I'm paying around $28 a month for what I feel like is a pretty good overall package. The app is pretty good. Streaming online is pretty good. The DVR is fantastic, so you get all of that. and the price point makes it, kind of the leader here. DirecTV Now, a little more expensive, but you do get more channels. You also get a variety of channels that weren't in some of the Sling packages. Like for me, it was Velocity and some of those. But like I said, no DVR. What? Just, that's ridiculous. It's literally streaming television only. And so that was a big knock on that. And then YouTube TV, like I said, because you're really roped into paying that $40 a month, whether you need all those channels or whether you want more channels, it is what it is. And it would be nice if they had like a $25 tier and a $55 tier, just so you could kind of get a little bit more precision around what you need in television. So DirecTV Now and YouTube TV, both were fine, but here is where the announcement comes, and I am going currently with Sling Television. And the reason is, the big one, the DVR. Man, I cannot tell you, how important that actually is, especially for any of us that time shift, right? The DirecTV Now app is just kind of ridiculous that it's literally live TV. It's like the worst of the worst. It doesn't make sense to not have a cloud DVR service with that. Even a physical DVR. To me, that is a backward step over cable. My cable and the physical DVR box, despite all its limitations, was still a step ahead of where DirecTV Now is. So I'm shocked that they have a service out there without some sort of DVR. And so, based on Sling's pretty nice pricing, the fact that they have a DVR, the fact that they have a capable and competent app and online viewing service, is just the most robust all-round package that kind of hit me least for transitioning from traditional cable, right? So, like I said, selecting a channel and then having to hit watch, yeah, not that efficient. But all of those are a little bit of a quirky, nuanced or minute or detail change, not kind of big ones. Not big ones like not being able to DVR something, right? I mean, a sports game or a movie or something, and you're out with friends or whatever. I mean, that's just a huge miss. I know DirecTV is working on it. They are certainly behind where I thought they'd be on the DVR, despite the fact that they've been pounding the pavement on that. And when that comes back, I will probably, I don't know, try it again and just see how that is. But until then, my winner, Sling TV, no question about it. And I think this color chart actually proves that out. They have no reds. They did not come in last place on any of these, and both DirecTV Now and YouTube TV have some strikes against them. So hopefully that helps you make your decision as you're looking to cut the cord. Sling TV is really great. Go get the incentive. I would strongly recommend it. I'll put a link to it in the description below if you want to pick it up. Peter Von Panda, out.